in the earlier video, we saw how to introduce the variance in our pivot tables. Now we can play with the conditional format option. First, I will try to edit our pivot table to make more rows. I will move the product category in the filter, and now, as you can see, we have some errors in our pivot tables. We can avoid this type of error. In our case, the variance cannot be calculated for this type of cells because we don't have values in 2019. Or you can have different type of reasons, but in our case, or generally, you can right click the pivot table, going to pivot table options, and you have the format option that you can check box for error values show 0, or we can keep it like blank. Okay, now here we have all the product categories and all the product descriptions. But let's take a product category and we will choose IT, and here you can see that we have the variance only for laptop because it's the only category that was sold in 2018 and 2019. And let's try to find a category, for example home, where we have many type of variances, or we can keep it all and try to find the way to highlight the top 3 values in our variance. Or we can also try to highlight some of our values for 2019, for example. And for this we need to use the conditional formatting in pivot tables. How can we do this? Normally we can use the conditional formatting in any cells, but in a pivot table there is an option that is very important to select just to have the correct image. And for this we need to go to conditional formatting when we have selected a cell from the pivot table. For example, I'm going to select chair from 2019, going to conditional formatting from the home tab, and here let's try to have the top 3 items, and give it a custom format. I want to have them in a green fill color. Hit OK, and as you can see, the pivot table gives me one cell that where I was before start the conditional formatting, and here you have an icon which is formatting options with a small arrow near it. If you select it, you see that we have the default values, the default value as selected cells, and if we click all cells showing sum of margin values, you'll see that we have the totals included in our selection, meaning that we need to change this option to the last one, which is all cells sum of margin values and also product description and year. Here we go. Now we don't have the totals included in our selection, and Excel told us with a green, just like we set up, which are the top values, top 3 values from our range. Our range is 2019, and we can do the same for the variance column by going to conditional formatting, let's say top 3, and make it with this default selection option, green fill with dark green text. And you'll see that again we have only one cell, and we need to change to the last option from our formatting rule. And you see that these are the top 3 variance values for our pivot table. So we have laptop, which is the biggest value in terms of variance, and then we have chair and furniture. The rest of them are less than 2018. For sure, now we can play with those formats by going to Manage Rules, and here you will find all the rules that you've applied before, and you can double click on it and change. For example, we just need to see the top value for the variances, so not 3 of them, or you can try to change maybe the color or such things.